Have you ever wondered why big companies can sometimes feel so, well, disconnected? Where one department seems to have absolutely no clue what another one is doing? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today, the solution. We're talking about enterprise systems, the powerful tech that acts like a central brain for a modern business.
But before we get to the solution, we've got to understand the core problem these systems are built to fix. It's often called the silo problem, and believe me, it's the root cause of a ton of organizational chaos.
And really, it all boils down to this one question. It's a feeling a lot of us have had, right? Either as a customer trying to get a straight answer, or as an employee just trying to get your job done. The answer usually lies in how information flows, or more often, how it doesn't. And this slide right here shows you exactly what's happening. On the one hand, you've got your siloed departments. Finance has its own spreadsheets, sales has its own customer database, HR has its own software. They're all in their own little worlds. And the results? Well, it's a recipe for frustration. Information gets trapped, people end up doing the same work twice, and making even a simple decision can take forever.
And this isn't just annoying, you know? There are real-world costs to this kind of disconnection. You get data duplicated all over the place, which of course leads to manual errors. Communication just falls apart because teams aren't even looking at the same information. But the biggest cost? Your decision-making becomes painfully slow because it takes ages just to piece together an accurate picture of what's really going on. So, that's the mess. But now, let's talk about the solution. This is where we start building towards a much, much smarter way of operating, all based on the idea of a single integrated system. Okay, so what are we actually talking about here? Here's the official definition. An enterprise system is this big, integrated piece of software that connects all those core business processes. Now, the magic words in there are integrated, share the same data, and in real time. That's the secret sauce. But honestly, the absolute best way to think about it is this. It's the central brain of the business. Just like your brain coordinates every single thing your body does, an enterprise system makes sure all the different parts of the business are working together, seamlessly. And this leads to the ultimate goal, which is a total game changer. The entire point is to create what's called a single source of truth. No more fighting over whose spreadsheet is the right one. Everyone, from the CEO's office to the person packing boxes in the warehouse, is working from the exact same up-to-the-minute information. All right, so now we get why these systems are so important. So let's pop the hood and take a look at the different kinds you might see out in the wild and the key features that make them tick. Generally, you're going to run into three main types. First, you've got ERP, which is all about your internal world, things like finance, HR, and your inventory. Then there's CRM, which handles everything external, all your customer interactions, from sales to support. And finally, SCM manages the physical journey of your stuff, from your suppliers all the way to the customer's doorstep. They each have their own focus, but the real magic happens when they all talk to each other. And no matter which type we're talking about, they all share these core ingredients. The heart of it all is a centralized database. That's our single source of truth. Real-time processing means the info is always fresh. Standardized workflows make sure everyone is doing things the same efficient way. And of course, you need rock-solid security and the ability to grow with the business. Okay, so that's all the technical stuff. But what does this all actually mean for a business day-to-day? Let's talk about the real-world impact. Both the amazing benefits and, some of the challenges. The benefits? Oh, they're huge. This is why companies spend millions on this stuff. When you connect everything, you naturally become more efficient, which cuts down your costs. Since everyone is using the same data, your accuracy goes way, way up. And the big payoffs for all of that? You can make better decisions, and you can make them so much faster. And if you want to see what faster looks like, just look at this chart. The difference is night and day. Having accurate information at your fingertips completely changes how quickly a business can jump on an opportunity or solve a problem. It is a total game changer. And this quote really explains the how. It's not magic. It's about giving people, like managers, the tools they need, like dashboards and reports they can pull up instantly. They're not waiting weeks for someone to crunch the numbers anymore. They can just look at their screen and make a smart call. Now, let's be real for a second. Putting one of these systems in place isn't just flicking a switch. It's a massive project. And success really comes down to these three things. You've got to have support from the very top. You absolutely must invest in training your people on how to use it. And you have to actively manage the change because it's a huge cultural shift for everybody. So, where is all this headed? What does the future look like? Let's zoom out a bit and see how these systems are evolving right now to keep up with our crazy digital world. Yeah, today's enterprise systems aren't these clunky, old databases anymore. They're getting supercharged by all sorts of new tech. Cloud computing makes them way more flexible. Artificial intelligence is starting to automate tasks and spot patterns you'd never see. Mobile access means you can work from anywhere. And advanced analytics, that's helping companies predict what's going to happen next. When you put it all together, this is what you get. These three words really sum up what a modern, successful organization looks like. It's fully integrated, it's incredibly efficient, and every single decision is driven by good, clean data. That's the power of doing this right. And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. For any business, any team, or heck, even any personal project you're working on, this is the most critical question you can ask. Is your data working for you? Is it organized, accessible, and helping you move forward? Or is it working against you, scattered, siloed, and just holding you back? Something to think about.